Are you someone who's experiencing pain? Maybe you're a weekend warrior, maybe you're an athlete, maybe you're just an average Joe, somebody who's experiencing pain. Chances are, if you're really active about wanting to get out of pain, you've probably gone on YouTube, you've probably gone maybe on social media and you've looked up things to try, and maybe there's nothing that's been able to help you. If you've done therapy in the past, maybe you've seen a therapist, but are they leaving you with the answers that you want? Are you leaving your sessions understanding why you're truly having pain? A lot of times when we look up our own exercises, or maybe when we see some practitioners, whether it's a chiropractor, an athletic trainer, physical therapist, occupational therapist, a lot of times you're coming in with maybe, let's say, shoulder pain, and they're just kind of looking at the shoulder. But are they asking you, when are you having pain? What types of activities are you doing that's causing your pain? Are they watching you lift up your kids? Are they watching you change diapers? Are they watching you reach overhead? Are they watching you weightlift? Whatever it may be. A lot of these things are in isolation, and we know that the shoulder, any body part, it never works in isolation. So here at Modus RX, we actually use an assessment that's through the Gray Institute called 3D Maps. What 3D Maps is, it's an assessment that allows us to take you through all planes of motion. So when we move, there is a sagittal plane of motion, so it's going to be front to back like this, and then there's going to be the frontal plane, it's going to be side to side like this, and then there's going to be a rotation, which we call the transverse plane. So there are 66 joints in the body that are vital for allowing our bodies to move through these 3 planes of motion. And everything works in 3 planes of motion, but most of the time I see when you're doing an exercise, it's usually just in 1 plane. When we use 3D maps, we're assessing the mobility of all these joints, and then we're assessing the stability, because maybe you have the motion, but you cannot control it as well. And we break down the activities here using the 3D maps analysis to get to the true root cause of your pain. Maybe you're having shoulder pain, but did you ever realize that it could be due to the same side hip? It could be due to something in the spine. Maybe it's something in the foot. And maybe we put out the fire here, you do some local hands-on stuff, maybe some exercises, some stretches, but we got to get down to that true cause so your pain can go away for good. All right, so how would we use 3D maps? Well, here we got Becky, who's ironically got some low back pain. So I'm going to take you through the anterior chain sagittal plane. You'll get to see what that means in the video of how I would assess somebody with low back pain. So Becky, what I'm going to have you do is, we're just going to stand over here. I'll move out of your way, but I want you to step forward. Take both arms, reach up and go as high as you can here for me. Good, and then go to the other side for me.
Go as far as I can go.
And then let's go to the other side. And just hold that. So here I'm able to assess ankle, IR, ER of the hip, extension of the hip, what's going on at the spine, what's happening at the neck here. Can you look up to the sky for me? And then what's happening in the shoulders. We can look at everything that's happening, all the vital joints here. You can take out of this pose and see what's really contributing to her pain there. Then of course we'd go the other way in the sagittal plane. Then we'd want to check those other planes of motion I talked about, which was the frontal plane, the side to side here, and the rotational planes. All right, so the beauty of 3D maps is the test is the exercise and the exercise is the test. So within there, we'd be in a natural environment, right? I wouldn't want to lay the patient down on a table. There's certainly times and places for when we're going to do that, but we would use that anterior chain that we took Becky through, and I would be using her pelvis, or I'd be doing some hands-on to create more hip extension, or if you guys noticed in the video, her foot came up, so we know there's something going on with the ankle being restricted there, and I can utilize that test and provide treatment within that, where we can create the exercise, where we can have an awesome test and retest to see if we made improvements within a matter of minutes.